Good evening, everyone. Late Night Mega here. And tonight we're going to do, well, it will be another Strixhaven draft, but this is going to be the Midweek Magic event. I haven't really talked about this event before. This is a free event that runs from, well, depending on your time zone. For me, I'm in the EST time zone, so it will run from Tuesday at 5 p.m. until Thursday at 5 p.m. And this is a free event to enter. Happens weekly. And you usually have to build some sort of specialized deck. There's different deck constructing rules or whatever. Or sometimes they have these sort of phantom bot draft events or phantom sealed events. So a phantom event means that you don't actually get to keep the cards that we draft here. Boo. But I guess it's okay. It is free to enter. And what you do get is you will get a random rare. It could also be a mythic rare for getting 1 win. For 2 wins, you get another random rare or mythic. These are rares or mythics that are standard legal. You can end up getting duplicates before I've gotten some rares that I already had 4 copies of, in which case you just get the gems. And then the third, you get a random cosmetic that you don't have. So since it is completely free, we're not going to complain about it. We're just going to jump in here. And it's a bot draft, so we have no time limit on our decisions. Isn't this thing good? Enters the battlefield, exile an instant or sorcery card, put a number of +1/+2 equal to half that mana value, rounded up. Yeah, that's pretty decent. Discard a card, then draw a card. When you discard an instant or sorcery, it deals damage equal to the target. Okay. It's good enough rare to take. Expressive iteration would also be good. Practical research wouldn't be awful. Variant books is here. As far as non-Prismari cards, we got the Leech Fanatic and Guiding Voice, which are both decent aggro options. We've got the Scourge Colony as well. We're going to take the rare. So since it is bot draft, there's no point in rare drafting, so I'm not going to pick either of these things. But it also means, in my opinion, I think the drafting portion will be slightly easier. I could take the Enthusiastic Study. The curve isn't bad either. Otherwise, I'd be looking at, like, Karak Wrangler, but this thing really wants us to have like those 7-drop Prismari cards, and I haven't drafted Prismari yet, at least in my the Premier drafting series, so maybe we're going to try to do that here. I'll take this Burying Books. That card is fine enough. There's a lot of decent green options here too. The Mage Duel. Take another Intro to Prophecy, but, well, not another. I haven't taken one yet. Here's what we want for our Prismari deck, the Spectacle Mage. Again, more good green cards, but I have been drafting green a lot in those Premier drafts, so... And this is a bot draft, so the way, at least, it feels like to me that the bots draft is they try to keep a pretty good balance of all the possible color combinations. So as you can see here, it's pack 1, pick 5, and we have both Heated Debate and Killian Ink Duelist. These are both considered like very first pickable cards if there's not like a bomb rare in the pack, and they're still here, pack 1, pick 5. So we're going to take the Heated Debate. No real difficulty there. There's the Kelpie Guide, which is more for Quandrix, because it has the additional ability of... you could tap your opponent's stuff if you have 8 or more lands. It wants 8 or more lands. It still wouldn't be bad for a Prismari deck as a way to ramp us, but I'm going to take this first Environmental Sciences here. I think either of those would be fine picks, but I do want to make sure I get some lessons. Yeah, look at this. We got Pledge Mage and Blood Researcher here. I'm going to take Maybe I take an Intro to Annihilation in case our burn removal ends up not always being big enough. Curate, yeah, and then here's a Silver Quill card. Hey, it's an okay red card. Maybe not quite for the deck. This Wield, okay? In no world does this wheel in a Premier Draft. Well, at least it shouldn't be. So that will be definitely our pick. We'll take the Befuddler. It's an okay 2-drop. It's not super spectacular, but it's not completely unplayable either. This goes well with our Infuriate and Enthusiastic Study. Kind of makes me wish I grabbed another Study, but... Oh, wait, this thing got by me. Yeah, whenever you attack, you may put an instant or sorcery from your graveyard on the bottom of your library. If you do, exile the top 2 cards, and you can play those cards this turn. Yeah, that's what we call card advantage. We're going to go ahead and grab that. Resculpt is somewhat playable, but is like kind of a weird combat trick, weird thing. Mascot Interception is also playable. Claim the Firstborn. We're not claiming any of that. We got a Resculpt anyway. That's probably not going to make the... Oh my goodness. This is a great card to have. A great card to splash. We already have the Environmental Sciences, which is really, again, great. Yeah, you guys can read what that does. It, basically anything we have that dies comes back as a token. If that wasn't here, we'd be taking this Ingenious Inspiration, because that would be a phenomenal card to have in a Prismari deck, but I feel like we can splash. Plus, there are some other, like, really good Prismari cards that could be splashed. Now, there is the Grape Shot. I'm not as big on that, because most of the time you'll probably get it for 1 or 2 damage, which is okay, but not phenomenal. I'll take the Pigment Storm, though. Could grab the Campus Guide, but I like Pigment Storm. It is removal... Oh, look at that. We get one of these anyways. Awesome. Very awesome. Would love the Prismari Campus, or even the Fractal Summoning would be cool, but we're not going to pass up an Ingenious Inspiration. Here's like all of the stuff we want, all in the same pack. So we could go for the... there's the 7 mana card that we really want to have. There's a lesson that we really want to have. I really want to make sure we get this lesson, at least 1 copy of it, because we already have a couple of learn cards. So let's get the Environmental Summonings. Stormkiln Artist would also be decent. And look at that. I picked correctly. This is how draft works. Just pick the correct card the first time, and then you end up getting both. That only happens when, you know, the drafts are really nice. Now, Teach by Example is not considered the best sort of card, but I do think it is somewhat playable. But it can also end up being like just a dead card in your hand. I'm going to take the Campus Guide. Helps out with our splash. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take another Elemental Masterpiece. I like playing these big, bomby Prismari spells. Another Enthusiastic Study for more learning possibilities. Which means I would probably like another Twin Scroll Shaman. So we've got that synergy going on. We have... First Day of Class is a card that could be played. I don't think I'm playing Letter of Acceptance. Though it could help with the splash in that. I already have one first day of class. There's no way I'm playing two of those. We'll take the... here I'm actually going to take the campus. Always want to make sure you get one of those. Another study would not be bad either, but we do already have two of those. I could use more... If we don't have 2-drops, we could always discard those to make treasures. Oh, look, I get another first day of class anyways. Oh, look, I got this thing anyways. What we need is more cheap burn. Which is... Or cheap. I'm going to take the 2-drop. Yeah, this is a pretty good Prismari 2-drop. 2-mana, 3/3 defender. Well, that's a good card. We're going to have a lot kind of going on at the top end. This thing is also insanely good to splash. Oh, there's like 4 cards here I want. I want the Spectacle Mage. I want the Prismari Apprentice. I don't have a lot of... This card goes really well with cheap. We're splashing. We're splashing Lorehold anyways. Oh man, there's another Spectacle Mage that I definitely want. What does this thing do? Enters the battlefield. If you cast it, learn. Well, that's already great. If you would learn, you may instead return Retriever Phoenix to the battlefield. That seems good. But I think I just need some cheap interaction. We already have a couple bombs. I want the cheap interaction. We'll take the Shock. We'll take the Pledge Mage. Symmetry Sage can be playable. I'll take another Pledge Mage. 2-drops are really coming together here. I don't know that we're playing anything in this, but this is a playable 2-drop, but as you can see, our main deck is already 29 cards. Academic Dispute could be very usable, and it learns. We didn't get any lessons this pack, did we? Oh, maybe I should have taken the Phoenix then. Oh, but then I wouldn't have the Shock. Alright. Prismari Apprentice is also very good. I do think I want multiple Spectacle Mages, though, because we got 3 of these Elemental Masterpieces, and it's what we want to be doing. I'll take a Curate, though I don't know that we're going to play it. None of this matters. Uncommons don't even matter. I don't think we need to solve the equation. I've got a 2-drop that we're probably not playing. Okay. So yeah, as you can see in these bot drafts, some things kind of tend to happen in bot drafts that just don't really tend to happen in normal drafts. We'll keep the Academic Dispute. Teach by Example can probably go. Actually, since we have enough Learn cards, I really don't think we need Letter of Acceptance. I'd be more inclined to play it if we got one of those Reconstruct Histories back. And I've never been the biggest fan of Mascot Exhibition. Twin Scroll Shaman has some great synergy with the Enthusiastic Study. I feel like first day... What's our learn cards here? We've got the Dispute, first day of class, and 2 enthusiastic studies. So that's 4. So yeah, that's 4. And we have 1, 2, 3... 3 good lessons. Yeah, I wish I would have gotten some more lessons, but that'll be okay. We do have kind of a lot of 5 mana cards. I guess first day of class can actually be kind of decent, but that's, again, a 5 mana combo with the Shaman, or 4 mana combos with that stuff. I'm going to cut it, I think. And Infuriate, while it does go well with the Shaman, I don't necessarily always want it. We have a couple more cuts. Should probably cut one of these 5 mana cards. Well, it's not going to be that. Or should I cut one of those? No. No, I should not. We're not cutting any of that, so that means our 5 mana 3/4. It does threaten to gain us card advantage, but you know, we have a lot of good stuff already. And I guess I can take out the Befuddler. Because we'll have Campus Guy. Yeah, I don't like to load up on 2/1s. Alright, and lands are not working properly for whatever reason. Now we should only need 1 Plains because our first Learn card or Campus Guide, we can fetch it. And we'll go 1 more mountain because we do have kind of a lot of red. Alright, that's going to be our Prismari Splashing Lorehold Bombs draft deck. I had a deck like very similar to this. I remember having a Prismari Splashing Lorehold where I had the Radiant Scroll Wielder. I had a lot more burn spells though to go with it. But it'll be fine. And then we can jump into the games. This is not like any sort of, you know, so many losses and you're out. Oh, we're going to destroy. Okay. You can just keep playing this event as much as you want. Even if you win the prizes and you just want to keep playing the event more. I've done that sometimes. Just for fun. You're welcome to do that. Well, this is great. Start off with the Pledge Mage because it doesn't die to any of the, like, Lash of Malice or it avoids some of the cheap removal in the format. Speaking of Lash of Malice. We're up against blue-black. Unless one of these two is a splash color, this is generally not what you should be doing in your Strixhaven drafts. Because Strixhaven is about the enemy color players, so you want to pair blue with either red or green. You want to pair black with either white or green. I have a whole not a lot going on here, so I know this is kind of a face-up trick, but what's our opponent going to do with 1 mana? We are going to grab... Yeah, we'll grab the Elemental Summoning. We can guarantee our 5th land drop anyways with Campus Guide if we really need to. So yeah, the Pledge Mage has Defender, but whenever you has Magecraft in, it'll lose Defender. So that's pretty nice. Oh, we naturally draw the planes anyways. Now, I'm not going to be doing this into open mana. That would be just a little bit reckless. Just going to play Campus Guide. Do I want a mountain here? I'm going to say no. Reason being is I can just get another mountain. You can lash out. Your name's Destroy. I expect you to have removal spells. Well, something's getting killed. Nothing's getting killed. Okay. That's also generally what you don't want to be doing in limited games, where you're not playing anything on your turn or your opponent's turn. You just kind of had 4 mana, well, actually 5 mana, and you didn't even crack that to draw a card. And you just didn't do anything with all of that mana. You didn't play any cards. You want to be advancing your board state or removing your opponent's stuff. You generally don't want to be playing cards like that, which is just kind of a one-for-one thing. Now, in this format, you know, maybe there could be homes for strategic planning, like when you have a lot of Magecraft triggers like these Pledge Mages and that. But still, you would want something to be a bit more impactful. Let's play the Elemental Summoning. This will trigger Magecraft, let this thing attack. We have no reason not to attack. So, Destroy here could, like, counter this, or do what their name suggests. Or we could just get in for 5 damage. Now, something's dying here. Something, okay, divide by, okay. I'll give you that one. And getting one of these Introduction to Annihilation, so that can be a removal spell. We have one of those. So I don't want to run Hoffrey out into that. +2/+1 still doesn't... I'm not casting a white card here. Let's get rid of Vortex Runner, and... okay, my opponent didn't want to play anymore. Also, don't play that wall thing. It really just doesn't do anything. Again, you want to have cards that are impactful. Now, one issue I do sometimes have with these Midweek Magic, specifically the Phantom events, is that if you don't like your deck... oh, we win, we claim the prize. Okay, this is a, as you can see, it's Mythic Rare from Streets of New Capenna. It must be one they already have 4 of. Probably either the, what's the Sanctuary Warden or Titan of Industry is my guess. I think those are 2 of the only mythics I have 4 copies of. Maybe I have another one. I don't know. But, so, you can see I got 40 gems for that instead, so I'm fine with that. Yeah, another thing you can't do is you can't, like, resign the event. Like, if you end up drafting really badly, like that Blue-Black Dimir deck, you can't really, like, redo the Phantom draft. I kind of wish you could, especially since this is a Phantom event. It's not like you get to keep any of the cards anyways. Or, you know, would it be that big of a deal to let people do a bot draft and keep the cards if they only get to do 1 bot draft for free? Is that really such a big deal? I personally don't think it is. I think it'd be a nice gesture. But, you know, I'm not in charge of those decisions. I'm just in charge of beating this opponent. This is a risky hand, because we were missing blue. If I had 1 blue source, this would be auto keep for sure. Still going to keep it. Number one, because there's no penalty for losing. Number two, well, we could just draw a campus guide and we're good to go. Gonna get a blue source first. Number three, I could discard one of these to get a treasure token. I still might actually do that, because I have a whole lot of nothing going on here. This will have Ward 2. It'll be half that. Let's do it. There's a shock. The Torrent Sculptor. It is a 6/6. Oh, this thing doesn't have flying. Oh, I thought this thing had flying. Guys, look at this picture. Tell me this is not like... Okay, it's whirly magic. But tell me it does not look like it should be wings. This thing should have wings. This thing should be flying. Okay, whatever. I can force... I mean, it's going to block anyways. I suppose I don't really need to force that. Spectacle Mage to hand. Yeah, I'll just play a Spectacle Mage here. Okay, cool. We just want to take 6 damage instead of chump blocking. I'm cool with that. This will make this cheapest. So next land we draw, as long as it's not our campus, we can now just cast the Elemental Masterpiece. We're about to lose our thing, but that is going to be our opponent's entire turn. Because this has Ward 2, so this will take 5 mana. Oh, how about that? I can cast the thing. Still don't need to attack with the thing. We can just do this. Can also use Academic Dispute. I'm a little bit waiting for a target. Okay. I don't need it to gain reach. Could just exile that. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Opponent gets to draw a card, but the main threat is gone, and we have a very sudden 2-turn clock. So one big creature from this Witherbloom deck is not going to cut it here. That's not going to cut it ever. This is like considered one of the worst cards. Yeah, don't play that card. Don't play that card. 4 mana for a 3/3 is an undercosted, underpowered body. Because the general rate for creatures is 1 mana, or every power and toughness is worth 1 mana, roughly. So if you get a 3/3 for 2 mana, that's above rate, and that's really good. If you're getting a 3/3 for 4 mana, that's not really good, and it needs to have some like good ability to go with it. And that just doesn't. Alright, let's go again. We haven't gotten the Scroll Wielder. I didn't even get to play Hoffrey either. In the game we have him. But you guys get to see how this deck works. It's like they heard me talking about them. Alright. Perfect opener, because we can go turn 2 Pledge Mage into turn 3 Iteration. That's a great card. 2 mana, 2/1, so toughness is a little underpowered, but that's okay because you're also learning right away with it. I'm going to play this anyways. Magecraft trigger on the stack. Okay. One goes into my hand. We already have one of these masterpieces, and they are expensive. I'm going to put the Pledge Mage into my hand. So this is how you want to use Expressive Iteration. Card you exile is generally going to be a land. We're going to attack in here. We have a 3/3. Why not? No blocks from our opponent. Well, there's a pop quiz. Another learn card. So that's kind of like a instant speed divination, getting 2 cards there for 1. You see, we are kind of in a mirror match situation here. Looks like maybe this is more of a lore hold deck, but I see multiple islands. So another Prismari splashing lore hold. Well, there's a Spectacle Mage. So if I play that this turn, next turn, even if I had... Yeah, I'm just going to play the Pledge Mage here, I think. Can't really do a ton right now. We need our white source. Opponent has all of the learn cards. That's not actually killing our thing, it's just lowering its power for the turn. Expanded Anatomy, okay. And here comes... Well, that's bad, too. If you cast it, it learns again. Oh, the damage dealing thing, and you can discard your... Okay. Okay, opponent. I don't think I want to bury that thing in books, because I'll just get to cast it again and learn again in a couple of turns. I'll just let that hit us. Alright, what else do you got? This guy's got a really good deck. But our deck, also not that bad. Okay, those resolved. We're attacking for a bunch. Single block means you probably have some sort of trick? Is it... Okay, Infuriate. Another Arcane Subtraction. Alrighty. Approach the second... Oh gosh. Your deck is stacked. My deck is also somewhat stacked. +3/+1 and gains trample. I guess it doesn't matter who I put that on. Let's Environmental Sciences. It is highly likely I can't block some stuff. You block the one that has trample? That doesn't make sense. Oh, should have, because I could have buried that in books. And a Quandrix Pledge Mage. Okay, discarding 3 so you can kill my... You're not killing anything. But does this not do what I thought it did? Then if there are 7 more... Oh no, that's... Okay. I have a berry in books here. Let's do this. If they go for some sort of cheeky double block, I can bury something in books. Case in point. Bury that one in books. Get a nice 2-for-1 there. And so, see, even though the opponent's board was looking pretty scary for a while, we're kind of stabilizing and threatening our opponent. Okay, another apprentice. Any learn card can get the Phoenix back. Okay, well, there's a shock. Why instant and sorceries have lifelink? And I'm going to shock that. So now these things can attack. That's why I had to do that before combat. This should be the victory here. Well, this opponent might have something. Not worried about any sort of attacks on the way back. You got to bury in books or some study. Okay. Learn gets the Phoenix. Does not get the Phoenix back. I guess didn't want to do that instead of learning. So that was trading a Pledge Mage for their other apprentice there, because the other one got rammed into that. And opponent is out of fuel. And I have whatever this is going to trigger and let me cast again. Lets you recast a random spell. Well, I had fun. Of course I had fun, I won. Lets you recast a random spell. So it could be a shock, it has lifelink, could be another enthusiastic study, sciences, or recasting an elemental masterpiece. So yeah. This guy is just insane, especially when you're splashing it into a Prismari deck. It's great in lower hold too. Yeah, it's a random instant or sorcery, but you can cast it, and it has lifelink. So, goes great with burn spells. Yeah. We just kind of ended up with more and better stuff than our opponent, which was... Oh. Something else I missed. Look at our opponent's next card. If they would have survived one more turn, they would have gotten that Approach the Second Sons back. That's why he went for the discarding his whole hand, trying to dig his way to the Approach. Also why instead of... Okay, that makes sense now why you didn't bring the Phoenix back, because you were trying to do the extra learn, where if you don't grab a card from your sideboard, you can actually like draw and discard a card. So that's what he was going for, trying to get to the Approach, but just did not quite get there in time. Alright, and so, yeah, I ended up getting this all done and accomplished in 3 games. Might take you a bit longer. Don't give up, just keep playing with your deck until you get victories. Maybe you'll end up playing against blue-black deck that is playing the... Don't I have the wall card? I do not have that. I thought we pulled one of the wall cards, but I guess not. But yeah, one more look at the deck. This is like everything I want in a Prismari deck. Great 2-drop for Prismari, just being a 3/3 blocks really well early on, and can be a threat, as you saw from time to time. Yeah, we kind of saw most of these cards in action. Oh, we never saw our Heated Debate, did we? Well, it's a good removal spell. That's good, too. Oh, we didn't get any of our Twin Scroll Shamans at any point. Well, those go great, giving them, well, they have Double Strike, but giving them +3 power and Trample. Yeah, this combination here, Pledge Mage, Twin Scroll Shaman, and Enthusiastic Study, can put a lot of pressure on your opponent really early on. And then we've got the Spectacle Mages to help us cast these great masterpiece cards later on. There's a few other like big spells in Prismari, even at like the uncommon level. We only got the common ones here. Oh, we never got Pigment Storm either. Oh, that's also sad. But we did get to see this thing. And yeah, we had a lot of good stuff. Good stuff, great deck. Can I just like take this deck to my next Premier draft of this set? Because this just worked out so well. Also, Prismari is my favorite of the two-color factions to play out of Strixhaven, but I do enjoy all of them. So yeah, I'm going to leave things off here. So for now, I'll take my leave.